Hey, this is Mike. I'm in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Judd Kuhn Chevrolet, and I'm checking out a 2015 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 LTZ four-wheel drive truck. Now, this is a super loaded up truck with a lot of features. We're going to look at all those features, check them out. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll probably notice this one has a lot of chrome, including the 20-inch chrome wheels shining out, plus the chrome steps. It has four-wheel disc brakes, and it is the crew cab, so it has the large back door, chrome handles, chrome. So let's go ahead and start it up. That's another one of the features it has. Let's go ahead and push the lock button and then immediately push and hold the remote start button. And it starts up the 5.3 liter Ecotec 355 horsepower. It's a beast. So let's continue on here to the front. Has that really epic chrome grille. Then you got the chrome bumpers with the parking sensors across the front. Then you've got some black tow hooks there, kind of hidden in there. Got the fog lights down at the bottom, but you also have the projector, halogen powered projector low beams with the reflector halogen high beams there at the bottom. So let's go ahead and start looking in on this side. Now the vehicle's locked. I have to unlock it. I can use the key fob for that. Like so. All right. Yes. Isn't that awesome? It has the brown with the tan two-tone, plus you have the wood grain, which is a lighter tone wood, accenting all that. Then you have the tier system, shelf system going on here, so you can put stuff, empty your pockets and everything in your hands before you get in the truck. You got a place to put 2 bottles and all kinds of other junk there on the door. Steps are really handy to get into the truck, especially when they have these handles to help you out. You got the power adjustable passenger seat with the power adjustable lumbar supports, where you can get really comfortable. You're not going to want to get out of the seat. Got the rubber mats, which is highly recommended by me. You got the heated and cooled perforated leather seats here on the front, very comfortable. Slight bolstering so you can get comfortable without being too intrusive on your body. You got that wood grain there, and then you got that pocket to put a file folder there on the side of the console. You've got 2 glove compartment, top and bottom, and that's handy because you can have this one all cluttered up, and then the top one is just for quick access items. That's what I would probably do with it. Plus you have the locking top one. All right, let's take a look here in the back. You notice it does have the privacy glass, so you can see it blocks out pretty good amount of light going in, but you can see pretty good looking out. Same quality, same styling here in the back, same awesomeness, except for one thing. The bottle holder is a little bit higher up, more towards the front, and that's really convenient for the back seat drivers. Okay, so here's the back seats. It's like a bench seat, but it's a 60-40 split to where you can fold them up and use some cargo space underneath, or you can have a combination of both. And if you don't have a center passenger, you can fold this down. You got like an armrest, plus you have some cup holders. And this seat lifts up, and there's just some storage space underneath it. And it's a little bin to keep things from rolling around. Like say if you put something in there and you close it up, it's going to be secure. It's not going to be rolling around in the floorboard getting in the way. All right. And we've got the little storage pocket there, 12-volt power supply, storage pocket down there as well. And you have these like vents here for air to flow through. It does have the latch system for car seats, and you have the anchor right here with this cable. You have the sliding glass, which I'll show you that in a minute. Let's take a look here at the back. One of the cool things about the Chevrolet trucks is they have these cool steps in the bumper. Makes it a heck of a lot easier getting in and out of the bed of the truck. So you got that chrome bumper with the parking sensors across the back as well. Plus you have the towing package with the 4 and 7 way plugs here. See what it looks like under the truck. That's always fun. Okay, you also have a backup camera. There's a lens hidden right there. It is a locking tailgate, which is very handy. Plus it slowly lowers, and it's assisted going back up. It's a removable tailgate too. You're able to pop it out and get it out of the way in case you need to use the bed in a different way than normal. Plastic bed liner, which is not bad. I prefer the spray in, but you still, a lot of people like the plastic bed liners. And you can see it has these cool places to put boards in across there, so you can have like a cargo management type system with some 2x4s or 2x6s. Alright, so the fuel door is here on the driver's side, which I prefer. That's convenient. You have the little fuel cap with the tether, little string here, and it has a place to hang it, so it hangs it away from your shiny paint so it doesn't scratch it, and that gets it out of the way. Let's take a look here with another point of view so you can see what the storage on this side looks like. Massive, plenty of room. And one of the cool things about Chevrolet is they have these blind spot mirror there, but it's completely flush with the rest of the glass. You would think it would be popping out, but it's actually flush, which I think is pretty neat. But I like that kind of stuff. So before I show you the engine, I just want to show you one thing. Since I use remote start, if I were to just open the hood, the engine will turn off. And since we want to listen to it, we still have to put the key into the ignition and turn it on like so, and that way everything kind of turns on to normal. So now we can raise the hood and check out that 5.3 liter 355 horsepower V8. There's a little latch. You just reach in and move it to the right like that. Of course, it's going to be covered in plastic for the most part. That's the trend nowadays, is to cover up engines with plastic so we can't look at them. But yeah, 355 horsepower, that is no joke. Smooth running engine as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and, this is a direct injection. It has VBT. There's a lot of, pretty cool stuff to say about this engine that gives you really good gas mileage considering all the power you have. Alright, so let's get behind the wheel and check out all the features inside. Alright, so here we are on the inside. And man, there's a lot to get excited about in this truck. It has a ton of features that's very useful to everybody who drives trucks. That's my opinion anyways. But anyways, I think they're all cool. Let's take a look here on the driver's door. We got your presets for your seats. You got 2 presets, plus you have an exit mode that will allow you to push that button and exit the vehicle by basically the seat will kind of get out of your way, and then that way you can get in, you can get out, and easy to get back in. And then once you get in position, your preset will engage and it'll put you in your driving position. So down here we have the child locks, so it keeps children from opening up the door. If you want to keep them from rolling the window down, you can push that button as well. Then you have all 4 window controls here, plus you have the door lock controls, and then the side mirror controls are here. You just have to pick a side, so you just pick that side or that side, and then you can adjust it. But this center button is to fold them in. So let's go ahead and fold them in so we can see what it looks like. Isn't that cool? So that way, in case you're, you know, you can fold them in to park it or squeeze through a tight spot, that kind of thing. And then you have your headlight controls down here. It has a, you can turn it off, or you can have automatic parking lights, and then your headlights there. And then your fog lights, you just push the button in. Alright, and then your interior gauge lights, you can adjust the, you can dim them there. That's the dimmer switch for that. 4-wheel drive controls are here. It has the 2-wheel drive high, automatic, to where it's basically, it'll cycle into 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive when it's needed. And then you have 4-wheel drive high and then 4-wheel drive low. Has some serious off-roading right there. You got a little pocket to put stuff up here. Okay, so here's your steering wheel, and it's all brown pretty much except for the metallic accents, and then you have the black around the buttons. And it does have quite a few buttons. Let's go ahead and start on this side. This is your cruise control. You just have to make sure you turn it on with this button. You can turn it off here. You can set it, and then you can change through your speeds with these plus and minus there. Heated steering wheel, you can turn that on or off right there. And then you have the little illuminated light there will turn on. I'm not going to leave it on now because it's pretty hot. But the heated steering wheel, I don't know if you've ever had any experience with one, but if you ever get in a cold truck and you turn the heated steering wheel on, man, does it make a big difference. Okay, see here, so here on the right, you have your voice recognition button. This is for making and receiving calls. So if somebody's calling you, once you pair your Bluetooth phone with the system, you just push that button and you talk to them just like normal with your hands on the steering wheel and eyes on the road. It's really cool. And then you can hang up there. You can also push that button and say, call Lee Forrest, if he happens to be in your phone book, which I would suggest you put him in there. I'll put his contact information in the description of the video. He's the main man here at Judd Kuhn. He hooks everybody up all over the nation with vehicles. So anyways, you can push that button. Anybody that happens to be in your phone book, you just say their name. As long as it's said like it's spelled in your phone book, it will call them up for you while your hands are on the wheel and your eyes are on the road. Very good safety feature and convenience, of course. So these buttons here, these arrows and then that little check mark, correspond to this little screen between the gauges. So I'm going to, let's go ahead and check out the gauges real quick. We've got the RPMs there to the left, battery voltage, engine coolant temperature, fuel, and then your oil pressure, and there to the right you got your speedometer. Now you notice on the fuel gauge it has a little pump there, and it has the arrow pointing to the left showing you which side your fuel door is on. So that's cool. So there in the center you've got this digital screen, and the digital screen gives you, well, right now it gives you information that you might want. So right now it's showing us the digital speedometer. It also is showing us that we're facing east. The bottom left you have a little E there, that's showing, that's our digital compass. And then we have the odometer and then what gear we're in. So right now we are, I'm going to scroll to the left, I'm going to go to the left so you can see we're in the info screen. So I'm going to go back to the info screen and see the first thing is this digital speedometer. Scrolling down you can see it has this little scroll bar, so you can see that there's more stuff to see. Scrolling down we've got your trip A, which gives you your mileage and your average miles per gallon. Scrolling down again gives you a trip B, so you have 2 trips you can use. This is your range, how far you can go before you have to put gas in the truck. How long before you can actually, how long before it's time for an oil change. This is where your tire pressure in each tire is, that's pretty cool. And your fuel economy for the past 50 miles, and it'll give you your best and all that stuff. And then a blank screen in case you just don't want to see anything. Alright, and then you keep scrolling, it goes back to the digital speedometer. So let's go to the left. You see that's your info. So let's go down here to audio. Audio gives you there's no scrolling, it just tells you what your radio is doing, what your station you're on, what if you're on AM, FM, satellite radio, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go back out of that. And then you go into phone. Phone, once you pair your phone, you'll have information here like you know, recent calls, or you know, if somebody's calling you, it'll have like a little caller ID type thing. Scrolling down again, this will be your navigation screen, which will once you have a route entered, it'll give you guidance there. And you can go in different settings, like change your you know, change the kilometers per hour and stuff like that. But you know, just kind of give you a basic rundown of what you can do with this screen, the different information you can have. Now, you don't actually have to go through all those settings all the time. They will actually alert you, like if the tire pressure is low, or if it's time to change the oil, or even if the fuel's low, it's going to pop up and tell you anyway. So you don't always have to constantly, you know, look at that stuff all the time. But it's there in case you want to. Okay, so here's your column shifter. And so this is a 6-speed automatic transmission. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in reverse. So a couple things will happen. One, the parking sensors will turn on. Another thing is the backup camera will turn on. And the backup camera has these guidelines that kind of help you out. If I turn the steering wheel, you can see they change. So that way it gives me an estimated trajectory of the truck as I back up, and an estimated width. And it's a little bit distorted lens here, so the guidelines here kind of help you out. Definitely don't want to go in the red zone, because that's too close. I mean, really close. It looks a little bit further than what it actually is, so just pay attention to the guidelines there. So continuing down with the shifter, we're going to go down to neutral and then drive, and that'll cycle through all the gears automatically. And if you want to go into manual mode, you see this plus and minus, you can actually put it down in manual mode, and you see right here it says manual 1. So I'm going to cycle through. You can see you can cycle through all the different gears, so you can have, you know, some level of control over the gear ratio. I don't know if it's actually going to let you start off with 6th gear, but it will give you some control over the gear ratios. The trailer tow button is right here. You just push that if you're towing a heavy trailer, and that way it tells the transmission that it has extra weight it's got to handle. Alright, so here's your touch screen, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to go into this home. I'm going to push this home button just so we can see all the different things that this thing can do. First is the audio. So let's see that, and that's the screen where we're in. And this is where you know, you have your what bandwidth you're in, what you're actually listening to. You got presets there at the bottom, and all that good stuff. Now you notice you have these other buttons up here. Those are kind of quick access buttons. But you can also go here to the home screen. You got your phone, and then once you pair your phone, there's not one paired now, but you'll have your contacts, you'll have recent calls, you'll have a keypad to actually type in numbers, that kind of stuff. You can handle voicemail too. Really cool. So I'm going to push the home button again. Navigation. It's probably, yeah, it's going to be in night mode because I have the sensor blocked with this shade here, so we don't have too much glare on the camera. But at night mode, you'll see it has the black background, and then the only thing illuminated is the roads. But during the day, it'll all be a lighter color. And also, you can put in a route, and it'll take you all. You know, it's a normal, you know, guidance system like a Garmin or something. All right, settings. You know, some more settings with the like you can change the language and stuff like that. Pandora is the internet radio system that you can listen to lots of different genres of radio, like music and stuff, that's more specific, a little bit more specific than the, you know, like satellite radio. You got weather information, which takes a minute to pop up because it's actually loading a radar map around, so you can see where we're at. And there's the ocean, there's all these storms surrounded me, getting ready to attack. It's just a matter of time. But and you see, you got all kinds of cool information here on the touchscreen. and you can handle, you know, some text messaging. This is voice to text. You're not actually typing anything on the screen. That would be very dangerous. And of course you can go and talk to the OnStar operator and get all kinds of information from them as well. Outside temperature 91 degrees, very hot. And you got the digital clock there as well. So there's a kind of basic rundown of the information that you have on the touchscreen. A little bit more detailed than this, but just kind of give you the basics there. And there's a volume here, change through the stations there, and you have the ability to play music through different media, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. You do have a CD player kind of hidden in there, and you can eject it here, change through the tracks there. Alright, so right now I've got the cooled seat on, which feels really good, but it does have heated seats as well, and when you push it, it cycles through to different levels, which is cool. The same thing on the passenger side. Okay, so the climate control is a dual zone, so you have driver and passenger. Right now they're synced, so if I adjust this one, it's going to adjust both of them. But if I want to unsync it, all I have to do is just move this one, and it will unsync that particular one. And you'll notice that when I start moving them around, it'll show on the touchscreen what's going on. Alright, so here's the fan speed here, and then around it is where you want the air to blow. And then you have the front and rear defrosters, air conditioning, and the recirculation button. Of course, it has an automatic feature too, to where you just set the temperature and let it roll. So down here is pretty cool, and little switches here, really neat looking. But this first one is adjustable pedals, like the actual brake and accelerator pedal. You can adjust them in and out. So like I can make them move in and out. Because sometimes you get the seat and the steering wheel and all that adjusted, and then the pedals are just slightly off. You can, you know, fine tune that if you want. Traction control, you can turn it off here. It's always on unless you turn it off. This is only useful if you want to spin tires, like if you're stuck or something, you know, typically. Okay, so your cargo light is here, and that's a light that's at the back of the cab that shines and illuminates the entire bed, which is pretty cool at night. You can check out my night videos. I have some night videos, you know, showing you some of this stuff. Parking sensors, you can turn those on and off there. If you know you need to get close to something and it keeps beeping at you, you can always turn them off. So down here, we've got all kinds of little cool stuff. So, starting with 3 USB ports, which is very substantial, easy to get to as well. And then you have 2 12-volt power supplies. Then you have this 120 volt Edison plug, and so this is handy. I think it's a 150 watt Edison plug, somewhere in there. It's not that much more, if any. And that way you can plug in like a laptop to charge it, or your cell phone, that kind of stuff. It's not actually going to power a hair dryer or anything like that, but it does, you know, have the ability to, you know, plug stuff in. Here's some cool places to prop up cell phones and stuff. I don't have mine with me because it's interfering with the microphone. So down here we've got a storage pocket, cup holders, and these cup holders are removable. You can pull them out and put them up there, and you can move them around wherever you want. Plus you got this storage bin under here if you want to utilize that space. So you can put this up here or back there, that kind of thing. Alright, so we've got this center console armrest thing going on with a place to put something in here. A very handy place to put a cell phone as well. And this lifts up, and you've got a little storage bin on the side, and then you got this massive one here in the center. Plus you have like these things on the side is for file folders. Isn't that cool? So you can actually have turn this into like a file cabinet for the businessmen. And then you've got your more inputs, SD card, 2 more USBs, and an auxiliary input. So lots of different ways of playing music through the sound system. Plus you have these little grooves here and here, so you can allow for wires to go in and out of this compartment, so you can plug in stuff and have the actual item or device outside of the compartment. Okay, so here is the rear view mirror, and it's an auto dim rear view mirror, but also it has this these buttons, your voice recognition, OnStar, so you can actually talk to them, and then you have an SOS button. This is for emergencies only. Alright, so up here we've got some tap lights in case we need a quick reading light. And then we have one on that side. Home link garage door openers are here, and this is for I'll show you. This is cool. Oh yeah, sliding back glass. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so your interior lights, you can turn them all on with this button here. But if you put it in the center position, that's for your doors to activate them. So when your doors open, it turns on the lights. If you don't want that to happen, you can just turn it off here. There's a place to put your sunglasses or safety glasses, whatever. Or really whatever you want. Got a microphone here for your Bluetooth system. Here's the visor, and it has this mirror with these lights that illuminate, so you can primp little vanity lights. Alright, so let's take a look at back here again, but this time we're going to pay attention to the visibility instead of just the cool sliding glass. So what do you think of this truck? LTZ trim level. Lots of cool features, huh? I think I'd use all this stuff, especially I'm using the cooled seat right now. I would definitely take advantage of all of these features. Love it. I like the way it looks too. When you get in a truck like this, you're like, man, this is awesome. You got that metallic bezel around the center stack. Got the contrast stitching everywhere. The brown in a truck just looks awesome to me. I can't turn the radio on because it violates copyright, but you gotta listen to the premium Bose sound system. I mean, this thing rocks. You can seriously jam out with this system. It's got the premium Bose sound system. So anyways, if you have any questions, clarifications, anything like that, leave it in the comment section. And if you're interested in a truck like this, if you were thinking about buying one and you are, kind of having, experience test driving and all that stuff, if you could leave that information in the description, in the comment section, that would really be helpful to me, but also to other people watching the video, so we can consolidate information on this video so people watch it, they can get more information in the comment sections from you. Yes, you can contribute to the information. Alright, so thank you for watching, and thank you to Judd Kuhn Chevrolet in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Awesome dealership. I'll leave their contact information into the description. I think you'll really be surprised at all the cool stuff they have. Amazing Corvettes and classic cars, lift trucks, all kinds of cool stuff. So you got to check out their website. So I'm going to leave it in the description. Go ahead and click it, and I'll see you next time.